Call of Duty Black Ops is arguably one of the greatest shooters ever made, and it is easily the greatest Call of Duty ever made. If you disagree with me, I'm happy to take this from the comments to a parking lot and full on fistfight. It's just too perfect. Black Ops was the first Call of Duty I ever seriously played, and despite buying every subsequent Call of Duty until COD World War II, I kept finding myself coming back to this absolute masterpiece of a game. Now, 15 years after launch, and just about as long since I first played it, I found myself drawn back up to boot up my R2D2 Xbox 360, buying Game Pass to get Xbox Live, and booting back into the first shooter I truly fell in love with. My name is Barlex, and today we're going to be checking in on Call of Duty Black Ops 1, see how it holds up in 2025, and determine if it is something worth your time to get back into. Starting off, booting this classic back up brought a flood of memories for me. The showing of real footage loading into the game, the greatest menu screen in any game ever, the music, just absolutely perfect. And about the music, let's hop into multiplayer and hear, oh dear Jesus. What? What is that sound? What is that song? Ooh! Oh my god, just listen to that for me real quick. Yeah! Yeah! Woo! Ah! Booting up into multiplayer for the first time felt ethereal. Everything was right there, waiting on me like I never left. I instantly found a TDM lobby, and all was well and right with the world. Not only did I feel like I was right back in the old multiplayer I knew and loved, it felt largely untouched. The one and only time I tested Black Ops 2 multiplayer, the entire lobby was full of nothing but hackers. On Modern Warfare 3, every third match is a hacked lobby and one kill gets you 30 levels. On Black Ops 1 multiplayer, I encountered hackers in a lobby only twice, and I've put about 80 hours in this game the last few weeks. If hackers are there, I haven't seen them that much. Moving on to the gameplay itself, good God is it so refreshing. I know it's funny to call a game that came out in 2010 refreshing, but after seeing the state of Call of Duty today and the overall shooter landscape, a game where guns hit hard, things are loud, time to kill is short, and cel-shaded Beavis and Butthead are nowhere to be found, things feel nice. Things feel as they should. Loading in with the Microsoft account I now use, the prospect of leveling up again was so thrilling, and after doing so, let me tell you, brother, this game rocks. Let's talk about guns. Progressing from the M16, then switching to my old favorite, the M14, was a ton of fun, and throwing an extended mag and sleight of hand on that bad boy had me all sorts of fun on the battlefield. When I just want to run around, the MP5K is just as beautiful as the day I last shot it, and throwing rapid fire on that bad boy makes me ooze with excitement. What I've noticed is that by and large the meta revolves around the FAMAS and the Galil. The FAMAS has the fire rate nearly matching the PM63 and slightly less damage than a regular assault rifle. Throw a suppressor and dual mags on this baby and you will tear up the lobby. As for the Galil, it's got a fast rate of fire, manageable recoil, and it packs a punch. If you watch the rest of the multiplayer footage, pay attention to the kill feed. I've played with both the FAMAS and the Galil, and while I enjoy them, what's nice is that the sandbox of Black Ops 1 is conducive to let me have a decent round with something even like an M14. Speaking of the sandbox, let's talk about it. Not only are the guns incredibly well balanced, encouraging variety instead of a strict meta that's enforced, the perks are varied and tend to lend themselves to different playstyles. Whereas some classes call for lightweight, others use scavenger. One thing I was worried about when booting into the game was that everyone would be lightweight, running around and drop-shotting. When I booted up, I actually saw a great deal of flak jackets and ghost perks, and the perks I saw the least were scavenger and hardline, but I even then saw them being used to a notable extent. Nothing was the go-to perk, and while there is a slight meta with the guns that's used, there is no one-step solution with perks. In terms of lethals, yet again we've got a good mix. Yeah, you're going to see frags the most often, but oftentimes you'll come across some guy trying to hit a clip with a tomahawk or chucking simtexes. what I thought would be dominated by flashbangs in the tactical grenade department has been a pleasant surprise, to say the least. Concussions, Nova gas, and even decoys are used incredibly frequently. It seems like no two people have the same kill streaks, too. Common ones are obviously things like spy planes, care packages, and attack helicopters, but every match I'll see someone use something like a SAM turret, an RCXD, a mortar team, rolling thunder, and a good split between chopper gunner, gunship, and attack dogs. Equipment, it's the same story. Motion sensors and claymores are things that I notice the most, but jammers, tactical insertions, and even camera spikes are used by at least one or two people in any given lobby. And don't even get me started on the absolute jackasses who throw C4 and detonate it midair. Before I started recording this gameplay, one guy hit a clip on me twice in a single search and destroy map. What this goes to say is that it boils down to one simple statement. If a community has had nearly 15 years to optimize and find the most efficient or best way to play a game, and nearly everyone in the lobby has different weapons, attachments, perks, lethals, tacticals, and equipment, you have designed a fantastic game. As for the multiplayer community itself, I've been playing on Xbox, so I can only attest to the community there, but there is a healthy community. You will be able to easily find consistent lobbies in Team Deathmatch and Search and Destroy. Just about every other mode is hard to find or impossible to find a match, which is unfortunate, but there's always lobbies for those two modes. One interesting thing is that if you're in the United States, you can see when everyone gets off work and boots up Black Ops, from 5 o'clock Eastern to midnight Eastern US times, or when the servers just about triple or quadruple in size. And on Friday and Saturday nights, that number is just about 5 times the size of what they are on a random Tuesday morning/afternoon. This makes me feel especially good because I know the people who are playing are just like me. They're people who go to work or school, head home, and just want to play a game from their past they got enjoyment out of and still get enjoyment out of. I've even seen the same player in a lobby from days past, and I'll crack a smile, wonder how they're doing, and just be glad that they were able to hop on tonight. What's even more encouraging is the fact that I was not the lowest rated player in the lobbies. I see plenty of people, anywhere from a 20 to 50% of a multiplayer lobby, depending on the time of day and other factors, ranked below level 20. You have people who are Master Prestige and have every gun, every camo, and then you have plenty who are just now figuring out class customization or leveling up to even unlock custom classes. It seems like there is a wave of people joining the game again, and it's so nice to see. For those worried about hackers, I've only encountered one in the last 2 weeks, and 3 ever. You can easily leave a match and not worry about it if someone is egregiously hacking and report them, but you likely won't see much if you're on Xbox. Most recently, I encountered a guy I suspect of hacking, but he was more subtle about it by giving himself more HP in a search and destroy match. My entire team pumped this guy full of lead, and he only died after what I felt like far more than a player ought to be able to survive, but he did indeed die. I don't have any concrete proof, but you're watching the gameplay now. Let me know what you think. It feels like he should have died way earlier than this. If you're returning to this game, you will be happy to find that the old Black Ops etiquette still exists in many places. Me and my 2 little brothers were playing a match of Search and Destroy, and I was level 20, my little brother was level 7, and my youngest brother was level 23. We were matched up against 3 Master Prestige players and ended up winning 4-1. In the final round, we got 1 Master Prestige guy that joined us, but he died right away. My youngest brother got the final kill, and we ended up winning, and he got a taste of what Black Ops 1 was like whenever I started playing it. I'm not even going to elaborate. I'm just going to let you watch this one.
Ném lựu đạn bắn. Grenade, move! Ném lựu đạn bắn lên. Grenade!
It's so fucking dog shit, you dumbass Mexican. I hate you. Kill yourself, you
The one major negative I have is this. If you have DLC, the matchmaking is built to pair you with people that have the same DLC you have. So after purchasing some DLC for zombies, I realized I wasn't able to matchmake and get into a lobby at all. After doing some research, I found that I won't be able to play or matchmake regularly. There are two things you can do to fix this. If you matchmake in a party with someone who does not have any multiplayer DLC, some things I've read say they have to be party leader, but I've seen it work without them being the party leader. Then you matchmake like normal. I know this is something that's not entirely sustainable or possible, but if you do it once at a time that you're going to typically be playing, you can log back on another day and hit the recent players screen and see if one of the 50 most recent people you were in a lobby with are online and joinable. You can also add friends to random people and see if they add you back for another layer of possibility joining. I've been doing this for the last week and a half, and it's worked, so I can personally say that while it's a little bit more complicated than I'd like, playing Black Ops with DLC is still possible. You'll just need an extra step or two. Or if you don't want to do any of that, you could do the more, I guess, elaborate way and just delete your DLC when you want to play multiplayer, download your DLC when you want to play zombies, but I always like checking to see if anybody's online because I don't want to delete and re-download something. Now, let's move on from multiplayer and talk about the mode that originally brought me back to Black Ops 1. I had a certain itch, a certain penchant for rotten flesh, teddy bears, and an M1911 in my hand. Where did that lead me? Straight to zombies, baby! The mode that used to scare me to the point of not playing it for over a year as a little kid started itching at me a few months ago, and after talking with my youngest brother, I booted into a zombies lobby again for the first time, and it was even better than when I first played it. Entering Kino der Toten and all the other fantastic maps for the first time in 10 years has brought so much joy to my heart, it's hard to express. There's not a whole lot I can truly say about zombies that hasn't been said better already, but I do want to share some thoughts. I have played the zombies on Black Ops 2, Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare, World War II, and Black Ops 4, and I can truly say nothing beats how Black Ops 1 Zombies plays and makes you feel. There's no convoluted gumball system and weird eldritch horrors flying at you. There's no loadout system and there's no stupid skins. You are just people that are either trying to survive after being thrust into a zombie outbreak, like on 5 and Call of the Dead, or you are a crew of elite soldiers following a rogue German scientist navigating the zombie apocalypse as it unfolds around you. And man, it is fun, and the game is so unnerving. Starting with Kino der Toten, which I can confidently say is the greatest map anyone could have started zombies on, you start in the foyer of an old German theater, and when having a lobby of 4 players, you have 4 barricades to defend. As you progress, you make a loop either through the theater into the backstage area, or through an alleyway and into the back entrance of a theater. Each room tells a story, and the visuals and placement feel so real here in every other map. You work your way backstage, and as you turn the power on, the curtain pulls and reveals a destroyed theater. The layout is absolutely perfect on this map. You can train on the stage, camp by Juggernog, hold up in the MP40 room, train in the alleyway, or just make circles around the theater and hit the teleporter whenever possible. That really goes for a lot of these maps. Ascension does a great job with giving you option, and has some elite training spots where you can camp at Jug if you're brave and at the top of stairs by PhD if you're smart. Call of the Dead has a good camping spot or two, and has challenging areas as well as fun spots to train. Moon is complicated as all get out, but it's a fun map for me to try and decipher and slowly figure out. On 5, you don't really have a strategy, you just hope to the Lord Almighty you can make it to a double-digit round and call it a day after that. I've been playing this since it came out, and I still have yet to figure out a good way to survive. Same goes for Shangri-La. I just didn't even try to buy that one. What really stood out to me was the World at War bundle. I didn't have a ton of money whenever I first played this, because I first played this game when I was 9 years old, so I didn't get the Resurrection DLC that included Moon and the World at War maps. Having them to play around with has been a ton of fun, and I've sunk more hours into Der Riese than Kino at this point, and my entire Black Ops experience has been full of more new discoveries than living in some nostalgic land, because the only DLC I had was Ascension. I was too young to understand Ascension, and at one of my best friend's houses we played Call of the Dead, and that scared me too much, so Kino and 5 were the only ones I understood until a few weeks ago, where I'm starting to sort things out. There is one major thing that makes me feel better than the maps do, And that is the fact that online lobbies for zombies are always lively. After nearly 15 years, we still see a community of people playing zombies. It's obviously not as large as the golden days of this game, but there's still people playing this game. This is what an average night will look like whenever you're looking at lobbies. Keynote or Totem will have anywhere from 80 to 150 people, maybe 180 to 200 on a big day. 5 will have anywhere from 20 to 80 people. Dead Ops Arcade topped out at 3 people in my time playing. Ascension is pretty spotty. I've seen numbers as low as 1 or 2 or as much as 30 to 40. Shangri-La will have 1 to 10, but oftentimes 0, and Moon will have 1 to 15 depending on the day. Where things get really surprising is looking at World at War maps. Noctidur on Totem will have anywhere from 0 to 8. Verruct with a climb at 1 to 18, and Shino Numa with 2 to 14. Where the most surprising number is, but Zombies veterans will know that this shouldn't be surprising, is Derice. Derice will consistently have 30 to 90 people playing it. It almost always outperforms 5 in terms of active players online, and every time I queue up into either Kino or Derice, I have a full lobby in less than 2 minutes, most of the time far less than 60 seconds. In maps like 5, you can get a full lobby in 2 to 3 minutes, and in others, it's a complete gamble. I would say your best bet for purchasing DLC, if you don't have any preferences on maps and just want to play with people, that would be the Resurrection DLC that brings Moon and the World at War maps, or the Call of the Dead DLC. Honestly though, if you queue up in any lobby, add the people as friends, and then invite them into your own lobbies, you'll see a great deal of success that way. As for the community on zombies, most of it is absolutely fantastic. People are helpful, they're fun to play with, and by and large, they're good for new and old players alike. You will occasionally get the fart sniffers that run up to every barricade and knife the guys you're trying to shoot to get extra points, or the ones that stand at a barricade and somehow lob a grenade perfectly into your barricade and kill zombies before you get the chance to ever pull the trigger. I've also noticed a pattern of every 3rd or 4th match I get into, somebody disconnects right at the start of the match or before the first round is over. Others AFK and don't really ready up in the lobby, and then whenever they load in, you're stuck with dead weight. This is especially true on maps like Call of the Dead and others where lobbies take a while. I assume people will queue up and start doing their chores or something like that waiting, but it can get annoying. The problem of hackers is very rare, but it's weird at best or upsetting at worst when a hacker does get into your lobby. I'm not joking, I've put almost 100 hours in zombies these last few weeks, and I've only seen 2. The first was flying around, killing every zombie in God mode, and so I left before the first round even ended. The last time, it was this guy who put text on the screen when we started, but was weird about his hacking. He would appear behind a door as we bought it, hang out in God mode near a ceiling, and then put himself on the side of the stage and zombies wouldn't go near him for multiple rounds on end. Then, after that, he came to Juggernog where me and my 2 little brothers were camping, and we had pack-a-punch weapons by this time, and so he gave himself a ray gun and an HK, and then joined us in shooting. He went down and we'd pick him up. When we ran low on ammo, he'd somehow fill our ammo and magazines without a max ammo. However, he waited until he had enough points to pack-a-punch, would go into the teleporter and wait for us, and most surprisingly, again, he would go down. We played until we were about to hit our highest round record, and then we left, because we would rather not have our record be ill-gotten, but it was interesting, to say the least. I don't like hackers in my lobby. Even if they try and help, I didn't like this guy hacking. But it was weird in a way I can't describe fully. It's almost like he thought he was like some ethical hacker. Back to zombies as a whole, the experience is just as good, if not better, than when you first booted Black Ops 1. The only thing that's different is there's a little bit less people, and by a little bit, I mean there's only a little bit of people. But you get what I mean. The community still exists, and there's still people to play with on a good portion of the maps. One of the more interesting things I noticed was the fact that there were so many people new to the game. So many level 4s, or level 6s in lobbies for multiplayer. So many people in zombies with a record of round 3 or no record on a map at all, indicating that I was playing with an account that hadn't touched the game ever and a person who hadn't played the game in quite some time. I did some looking, and there seems to be a brewing movement called Xbox 360 Summer. This was started by the Yard podcast, and it's reached outside their audience because now I've heard of it and I see the effects of it. Many people are tired of the state of modern Call of Duty and modern gaming as a whole. We feel like even after taking the nostalgia glasses off, old games are still better, more complete games than modern day ones. The thing is, nobody's forcing you to play the new games. Nobody's forcing you to ignore old consoles. Go to Facebook Marketplace or eBay and you can find an Xbox 360 for less than $100. Grab a few old games you want to play again and just have fun. The beautiful thing to me about my Xbox 360 is that it can connect to any other Xbox console. My little brother has a Series X, my youngest brother has an Xbox One, my dad has a Series X, and I have a 360. We can all get in the same lobby on Call of Duty Black Ops 1 and on anything that has online servers. I'll be honest, I grew up playing Call of Duty and bought every game until Call of Duty World War II. I even liked the games like Ghosts and Advanced Warfare and appreciated at least trying something new with the franchise. But nowadays, the game has lost its identity, and I don't want to financially support the Fortnite-ification of Call of Duty. I'd rather play a game I already have, spend money on its DLC, and play on its servers to show Activision that I am somebody who prefers this era of the game. It's not much by myself, but if we can get multiple people playing together, we can get lobbies full and more than just Team Deathmatch and Search and Destroy. If we can get full lobbies on all zombies maps, even Shangri-La, there may not be an immediate change, but there will be an unignorable statement from us that not only states how much we love the game, but how much we want the series to return to its roots. Imagine if Call of Duty dropped a game that didn't have stupid movement tech, cat ear skins, and so many cosmetic additions in every part of the game that it distracts from gameplay. I'm not somebody who's going to shout from the rooftops for game companies to revert their ways, because I know it's not incredibly likely, but what I will be preaching is please, dust off your 360. Get on eBay or run to your local game store and grab yourself a copy of Black Ops 1, and hop on, brother. Feel free to add me as a friend on Xbox Live if you catch me in a lobby. I've been playing the crap out of this game, and I'm normally on right after school and work, and I'd love to have somebody to go through zombies Easter eggs with. Or just somebody to help me get a game of domination or hardcore search and destroy back up. If you're anything like me, you've played this game, loved it, and assumed it was dead. Let me be the first to tell you it's not, and you can help build this community, get more players in lobbies, and revive the greatest Call of Duty of all time. And I'll be right there with you. So, the only thing left for you to do is hit that subscribe button, turn off YouTube, grab Black Ops 1, and hop in a match. It's waiting for you, and we can't wait to have you in the lobby fighting alongside or across from us. We can truly build up this community and support this timeless classic. Once again, my name is Barlex Live, and I appreciate you so much for sticking with me until the end of the video. That just about does it for me, so until I see you online, y'all take care.